Oh, this is gonna be... This is gonna be one of these. Possibly. Hold on. This might be a window capsule. Also, honestly, why is it... There we go. No, that's still... Okay, no settings. How am I gonna do this? Being cut off at the bottom. This is gonna be annoying. let me fiddle with this a little bit. It's still too small. I do this. I have way too many fucking docs in OBS. I think that looks okay. Which I guess technically if we wanted to do this realistically, I could put it full screen. But I don't think that would look good. Just pretend it's a virtual machine, I suppose. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, also don't know if you would even like Satisfactory Melody. So I didn't want to try to convince you to buy a game that I don't think you would really vibe with. Oh, and then we tried to get Vixie involved. And Vixie might still decide to join at some point. Even though I think she also doesn't own it. But she made a comment that was like, oh, I watched one of Lily's streams and saw what like a high-level factory looks like in that game. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I want to have to deal with this, which is also completely understandable. Oh, I didn't know what you were saying, Kara. You were trying to read this. I see. That's not the real time. Oh, music's still on, and game audio isn't on. Also, this game sucks. It's bad. I didn't have to double-click. Always make me double-click on the icon, or I'll still not fucking... I'm not gonna buy in. So I think this is mostly reading. This is Frontiers of the Mind, a study on the Maze Master's experiments. I saw a little bit of this game the other day and was like, I want to play this. So I only know vaguely what this is. Let me know if audio is okay. It might be a little loud. It's probably fine. Oh god, this... I'm gonna have to lean in to read some of this. Let me know if I also need to change the Became slightly too big overall. Hold on. I might need to change the scaling factor, because this is very pixely. To be centered horizontally. Why are there edges? And it's still cutting off the bottom. Why is the bottom being cut off? Why is the whole thing cut off on the edges? I don't know why. Okay, for some reason it was being cropped. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. That was a real issue. I don't know why it was doing that. Okay. Between 1987 and 1994, that's when I was born, the British channel Network 7 broadcasted 112 episodes of the TV game show Maze Masters, an interactive adventure targeting younger audiences. Produced by Third Eye Pictures Studio. During 8 seasons, Maze Masters was an adventure role-playing game, hitting groups of teenagers trapped inside a castle. Y'all have seen this shit, right? Y'all have seen these types of shows. these were more real. I think they were a bit before my time, but... Oh, we should watch the fucking YouTube poop. I think it was a The Things video of one of these. Nightmare, that's what it was called, yeah. So let me do one last thing. Let me know which one of these looks better, or if it's noticeable at all. I'm gonna go to the game, and I'm going to switch scale filtering to point. Is that noticeable at all? That's default. That's point. Number 1. Number 2. About the same? Number 1. Number 2. You're not noticing anything? Okay, it might be small enough that it's not really noticeable to y'all. Yeah, it's probably not noticeable to y'all. Okay, that's fine. It's a very subtle change, but there's an option in OBS to make pixel stuff look a bit sharper. Honestly, probably being blurry is what they want here. It's probably trying to simulate more of a CRT screen. They wanted to be a little blurry. That is just Grayskull. I think that is literally just Grayskull. Bultrum, the Dungeon Master, selected the adventurers who would put on a helmet which partially blinded them. In theory, this contestant could only see their own feet and nothing in the world around. Are these just actual, like, photoshops of the show? I think they are. Well, 3 companions helped them from afar. Only those companions could see the rooms and the trials. Every episode followed the same pattern, although the riddles and settings could change. Only some parts of the show were aired. E. The different sections of the CD-ROM explore the format and the backstage of the show. The idea is to shed a new light on the strange events which have been revealed afterwards. Names and last names of all the persons involved were changed, their faces digitally transformed. Okay, so that's why they don't have faces. They're not just spooky looking, it's that they're trying to protect identities. That makes sense. That's fine. Let me put my reading glasses on. Five years after the end of the show, the truth about the mystery surrounding Third Eye Pictures' activities not yet been verified with certainty. Therefore, we wish to protect the anonymity of the persons involved. Also, I don't know if y'all could tell. This is in like 640 by 480. This is very small on my screen. Help. I guess we should just go down the list. I don't know how legal it is to use Photoshop screenshots of a show like this. Because it does look super like they just edited an old British Kids game show. I assumed at this point this would be fair use. This is like transformative enough. I'm sure this is fine. If anything, people's faces probably would be the biggest issue, but... if they put, like, video in this, then that might be an issue. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much they actually show that is just an actual TV show. What did I select? Casting. Children chosen to take part in the show were selected according to a particular process. First, they had to send a cover letter to the production to give a certain number of details, such as their school reports, their hobbies, and the sports they practiced, along with all their food intolerances or medical treatments. Both those were olives. Also, they had to send a cover letter to the production. Yeah. When the application was accepted via a standard letter, the kids were invited to go to the closest audition. Pleased to inform you that your son/daughter's team have been selected. And attend for audition at the show's address. Please report to security something who will direct you to the appropriate room. We've tried to minimize any delays for participants in the auditions. but it should be noted that teams may have to wait 15 to 20 minutes for the audition. Please come at... Please complete? Please come as soon as possible, I think. Yeah, nothing weird in that I can tell. So they were introduced to the show rivals and to the members of the shooting crew. And the casting director would have them pass a test called Intuition Test, which according to the witnesses was probably a sort of disguised Ganzfeld test, or Ganzfeld protocol. I'm assuming that's what this is in the background, the, like ESP test. Oh no, this is something I talked about recently, actually. I brought this up a while back. I don't remember why. I don't remember the context. I just googled it. It might say in the game too, but I'll read it on Wikipedia. The Ganzfeld experiment, the German word for entire and field, is an assessment used by parapsychologists that they contend can test for extrasensory perception. In these experiments, a sender attempts to mentally transmit an image to a receiver who is in a state of sensory deprivation. The receiver is normally asked to choose between a limited number of options for what the transmission was supposed to be. The parapsychologists who propose that such telepathy is possible argue that rates of success above the expectation from randomness are evidence of ESP. This is the one I was talking about, where you put ping pong balls on your eyes. Let me get an image of this up. Put ping pong balls on your eyes and put on static, and you'll start to fucking hallucinate. Let's see if they then explain the thing that I just read. I want to try it. It sounds fun. They're using a blindfold, apparently, but... Kids had to take a telepathy test involving codes covered with specific symbols, during which they had to guess the Xeno code chosen by their companions. Yeah, this is so, like, stock image. Children always described this experience as a funny session, but apparently they never realized they were taking a cognitive test. Oh. Can I use, like, WASD? Can I can't tell if that's like a... Hold on. I shouldn't lean in close. I don't know if this has jump scares, but I can't tell if that's... gobbledygook? Hold on. I took a screenshot. Hold on. Hold on. It's gobbledygook. It's missing symbols. I will save this. And I'm gonna name this Frontiers 1, because I get the feeling I'm gonna need to take more screenshots. Let me. On the left we have input, which is E. I can't tell what the second one is. Then cognitive demons in the middle, and then decision. Was that bench? I can't know if that's demons or bench. And then decision on the right, and then E again. And then at the bottom it's... yeah, it's a bunch of missing characters. In all likelihood, the kids' roles during the shows were determined by the results of those tests. Allegedly, the child with the lowest results was assigned to wear the helmet during the episode. Therefore, the choice made by the Dungeon Master was not arbitrary. It had been planned long before. Yep. Hold on. Similar text, and then the image is... oh, the image is... I forget the name of this test, but it's... you know that test when you put, like, two faces side by side and then the faces mix? That was, like, a popular image. That was, like, a popular... I think that was part of Mandela catalog, actually. Well, something similar to that. Like, if you do that in quick succession, you start to hallucinate different faces and shit. Something like that. A few days later, the kids would receive a phone call telling them they will select if they were selected or not. I don't know if there's anything else I can click in these. Oh, clicking help will make it show again. That's good to know. Okay. The Dungeon Master. Bertram was a main figure in this adventure. He was both a companion and a potential threat. His objective was to help the player when they needed assistance, make their journey harder if they sailed through the challenges. He knew by heart all the rules of the game, and he had access to the solutions of all the riddles of the castle. As the Dungeon Master, Bertram controlled the game's rhythm. In case of conflict, he was the only judge entitled to decide. It's a great image. Put those boys in a pot. However, several members of the studio asserted that he was wearing an earpiece during the shootings. Well, yeah, that would make sense. Bertram is an iconic character of the show, and he left his mark on a whole generation of young viewers. Although the investigations revealed that he knew nothing about Third Eye Pictures' doings, Bertram got himself noticed for other reasons. Are the censored faces... are the faces censored, or is it supposed to be unsettling? Both, I think. They said that they censored faces and changed names. But also it's spooky. Well, that's less censored. Several letters of complaints were sent to Network 7's headquarters, reporting the fainting fits, migraines, and headaches affecting some children. A good 2 images back to back. Those incidents mostly happened when the actor would perform the Bartram style during the final shot of the episodes. The style was described by young viewers as hypnotical and terrifying. Several adults reported having similar reactions while watching those sequences. Nona Mansell is the only character who was never replaced during the 8 seasons of the show. I got it. Hold on, one more check. Okay, there might be some text in there that I didn't see, but I'm not gonna take another screenshot unless we need to. Controversies. During the game, the children seemed delighted, and it positively affected the show. Audience ratings were among the best of the channel, and the show even won several prizes, thanks notably to the wonderful work of the writing crew and of the artist in charge of the show's artistic direction. As for the different experimental protocols, they were always so subtle and so well designed that there was never any suspicion, and they never disturbed the kids in the short and medium term. Okay. Protocols is never a good way to describe something. At the end of each adventure, the kids would receive a certificate on which was written a text supposed to cleanse the different parapsychic suggestions to which they had been exposed. Although we do not know the exact number of accidents which occurred, 2 of them have been certified. I know what's happening in this image. That is just Nightmare. I recognize that face. That is a face that actually shows up in that show. The first one involves prototype number 2. This version of the helmet made it possible to show the adventurer's mental health in real time. Okay, yeah, they're not even hiding it. This was the way they showed health in Nightmare, if I remember correctly. Thanks to haptors connected to the pulse and to the back of the kid's eye, the software was supposed to display a face which would change color according to the stress level of the player. Like, this isn't even... I don't think this is even photoshopped at all. I think it does just look like this in the show. During one episode, the face suddenly turned into something gruesome, skin peeling off on its own, until there was nothing left but a sinister skull. Okay, this I think is new. Maybe. The kid wearing the helmet started to cry uncontrollably, and the episode had to be stopped in order to remove the device from the helmet. The second incident is even more striking. Apparently it was not related to the helmet itself, since no particular device had been integrated during this episode. In the course of a discussion with the jester, the player suddenly had an important an important nosebleed beneath the helmet? The so-called nosebleed episode turned out to be the starting point of the problems related to the Jester. Kill Jester. The Bristol kids. I need a drink. I'm gonna have to be hydrated for this one. Honestly, when I did see that in the actual show the first time, I was like, I'm surprised they did this, because it did look fucked up. Cases of the Bristol kids date back to the pilot episode, which was supposed to convince potential broadcasters to buy the show. The contestants were around 14 years old at the time of the shooting, in 1986, and they must be around 30 today. English isn't perfect in some places because the devs of this game are French. It's been fine so far. The only thing though is I don't know if important nosebleed is a thing that means something. That might be a medical term that I don't know, or it could be something spooky. It could mean something in the deeper meaning. We ignore the protocols the players were exposed to. It took several years for the disturbing points to be revealed. Maybe severe is what they meant, yeah. Or significant, yeah. I said that in this text is a little strange. We ignore the protocols the players were exposed to. It took several years for the disturbing points to be revealed. The four young winners pursued brilliant studies right after the show, although they initially had low to middle grades at school. They all developed particular skills in biology and math. I'm not gonna say it maths. So much that they skipped several years and joined special curriculums. The most disturbing element of is that those young people did not know each other before the show. They did not keep in touch in any particular way after the shooting. Eventually, in 1996, the four former contestants were invited all together, and by chance, the prize-giving ceremony of a mathematics award. That is where they connected the dots. Eventually, One thing that I would do if I was making something like this, is something that I feel like was a lot more common in these kind of CD-ROMs. When the text changes, it's good to move the text box, so that you know the text changed. That's a good practice, I feel. Having the connection with the show would ultimately involve some speculations, but the participation to Maze Master's pilot episode was the only common point between these four gifted persons. Shooting fucking beams. No similar event has been reported with other contestants. It's probably... What are they doing? What is going on in this image? Maybe I don't want to know. It's probably a coincidence. Oh. Well, that was it. Okay, that was a slight typo. Allies. During the adventure, the groups would meet several allies willing to help them. In addition to the Dungeon Master, they could rely on the assistance of Maldor the Chamberlain. I don't know if any of this stuff is AI. Some of this stuff might be AI, honestly. I don't know. We'll see. In addition to the Dungeon Master, Chamberlain, yeah. could be prankish and slightly terrifying, never refused to help the adventurers. Easily identifiable with his red gown and his crown of white hair, his help often appeared as clues related to the forthcoming riddles. Contestants could also walk into Selma the Shepherdess, a young woman lost in the castle. Never clearly explained how she arrived there, but she would give the contestants advice and directions. Of Cora the Sentinel could be determinant. The mercenary from the marshes surrounding the castle knew all the weaknesses of all the entities abounding in the place. Which, if some of this stuff is AI, that would also explain why they censored the faces. Other characters would appear occasionally. Garen the Apothecary, mischievous and wily. Lena, the Crimson Princess, the only belle of the Crystal Rings. Character list is still long. Melvidesh the Groom. People of the Dragon's Eyes. King Khan's Servant. Begot, the Innkeeper, well versed in the gossips going around the castle. Oswald, King Khan— Jesus Christ, this is too many. King Khan's counselor, compulsive gambler but faithful advisor. Salkos, the shapeshifter elf. We do not know any of his other forms. If this is AI, that's whack. Mordin the Wizard, descendant of the First Druid, was the only character who could bring a contestant back to life. It's hard to tell, because again, they were using obvious images from the show. So it could be either way. Or again, it could just be like photo bashes and stuff. Enemies. Apparently the devs have said they didn't use AI. I haven't looked that up myself, so I feel free to scrutinize it yourself. I mean, let me go through those images again. Again, personally, I kind of don't care that much, admittedly. It could just be... like, this is the only one that makes me kind of think it might be. This could just be a guy from the actual show, but something about the coloring of this one seems... like, this one seems off. But that could just be... that could just be because they photoshopped the background. That might be what it is, actually. It might be that they CG'd the background, and that makes the lighting look strange. Yeah. Because also, this is like too consistent to be AI. This one's a little different, the costume is different. But that could be because they were photoshopping his head onto a different body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I would have to see, like, the raw photos. Like, this one also looks a little AI. That one looks fine. That's just a guy. That one looks... that one might be AI. That might also just be a fucking 3D model. Some of these might be 3D. No, I think it's just like heavy Photoshop, and the filters and stuff might make it look more AI than it actually is. I don't know. Enemies. Unfortunately, in Maze Masters, the enemies outnumber the allies. There's already so many allies! How do the enemies outnumber the allies if there's already so many allies? In this section, only the human-shaped antagonists are listed. No other kinds of creatures, sea entities. Lord Fear was one of the most striking ones. As the final enemy, the adventurers would fight in the throne room at the end of their journey. That looks like... I could see this being Wayne. It's a little Mr. White. Littlefield was one of the most striking ones, yeah. He ruled over several sadistic henchmen, blindly solving his dark ambitions. Like this one, I believe, is just a guy. I feel like I've seen this costume. Yeah, like I feel like if this was AI, that would be way more muddy. I'm not gonna dig too deep into that, because if they say it's not, then I'll believe it. I feel like if it was AI, if somebody was making this and was using AI, I feel like they would be proud of their use of AI and be like, yeah, of course we did. I feel like at this point, very few people hide using AI, so I'm not gonna nitpick it. Aside from the Dark Lord, there was Queen Nulgal. Nulgal? Who could control the main entities of the castle. Yeah, I think I've also seen this screenshot somewhere. Again, after this, I'll see if I can find the YouTube poop of some of this show, and see if these people show up in it. His faithful servant, the Counselor, was the Jester. As from season 4, Nue enemies would appear in Hitsuri. Okay, so maybe the enemies wasn't misspelled. Maybe it is something is going on here. New enemies would appear in the show. It's fine. Although the incidents related to the cast of the show remain quite minor, they are no less noteworthy considering the evolutions discovered later. It appeared that some actors got so lost in their roles that they were unable to break character. The actress playing Liliana was found asleep on an unsettled horse somewhere in London's suburbs. This is a good track. The performer playing Watan the Wizard set his garage on fire while trying to find the Philosopher's Stone. Yet, the cast turnover certainly remains the most curious element. Except for a few rare exceptions, most of the actors refused to keep their roles after the first shooting. Many reasons were mentioned, but the most common one was related to issues with the catering on the set. And in particular, with the presence of something in the meat. Wait, that looked kinda good. let me look at that meat. What is that, shrimp? Some kind of crawfish? Also, I like that this guy is seemingly just a fucking Hellraiser. That guy's just a Cenobite. Okay. The Jester incident. Oh. Oh, do we got video? Not quite. Oh, this is funny though, doing like spooky stuff with this is not that spooky compared to most CD-ROMs of like the 90s. A lot of CD-ROMs were just like this. He's clowning around. But I could go for some shrimp. I'm gonna have to get some more food after stream, even though it's gonna be late. I only ate like a bowl of ramen today. I only ate a bowl of ramen, and I kind of wanted to maybe do an alt stream after this stream, honestly. Maybe, we'll see. Okay. This is simply pictures of Jester. Potentially multiple? That might be some blood and guts in those flashes. I can't quite tell. Hill Jester. Okay. I've talked about it in the past, I don't know if I ever will. It might be fun to do like an Inculta stream. What is it called? Inculta... It's not Mind Maze, is it? Inculta Mind Maze? Was that what it was called? I think it was. The, like, weird dungeon crawler they had in that for some reason. You see, chat, before Wikipedia... before Wikipedia, we had Inculta. What's this section called? Simply Rooms. Okay. I know it goes without saying, if you know me, I'm sure you can guess. I love this style. Of like, just put a PNG of a compass in the middle of the screen. Before I move on, I have still, on and off, I've been trying to make a website. I've been wanting to make like a NeoCities, and one of the things that I wanted to be inspired by was the old, Texas Instruments, website. Like TI calculators. And so I have, on my PC, a bunch of assets pulled from from that website. And so you get shit like, what's a good example? Like, just fucking slap PNGs of laptops and phones on an image. And the dithering adds a lot. When I do eventually, redo my stream, the look of all my streaming stuff, which I want to do eventually, hopefully by next year, I want to have more of this kind of vibe. Because I feel like this is closer to what I envision. I'm getting a little distracted by these images. Science fiction becomes science fact. Okay, I'll get back to the quote unquote game. It really is the dithering. The dithering really sells it. Temple Coast fact, certain TV remotes worked mechanically instead of electronically. button would click into a tuning fork, making a sound. The TV would catch. My remotes are called clickles, despite no longer clicking. I used to call remotes clickles for a long time, but I think that ended up being like a southern thing. That was one of those things whenever we moved away from Texas. We found out people didn't say that. They didn't say clickle, they didn't say buggy, they didn't say toboggan. I know a lot of phones used to do similar stuff. A lot of phones were like based off of the tone. So people would learn how to like whistle and beep in order to dial a phone. The original phone freakles. The hell is it? I don't know if I'm almost afraid to say it because I don't know if it's like a very specifically regional thing. I don't know. I hope it's not just my hometown, but we grew up calling beanies toboggans. So when we moved to a place that was cold, and we needed to buy winter clothing, we tried to find toboggans, and we didn't know what else to call them. Yeah, like the hat, like a wool hat. Hold on, I'm getting distracted from the game, but hold on. Not the sled. Toboggan hat. Third result on Google is, did anyone else grow up in an area where we called them toboggans? A toboggan is a type of sled. But it's also a type of hat. Is there like a Wikipedia page? I wanna see if there's like an etymology. Okay, the page is knit cap on Wikipedia. Knitted cap with eel flaps is often called a toboggan or shopper. The term toboggan is also sometimes used for knitted caps in Southern American English. Is that all they have to say about it? That's apparently all they have to say about it. Did you get snow in your hometown? We used to. When I was a kid, we would get usually like one or two snows all winter. And then obviously when I lived in Alaska, we would get snow pretty commonly. Not all year round like people think, but obviously in winter it would snow. Modem used to scream at each other to connect you to the internet? Yeah. I miss the sound, I don't miss dial-up. Unlocked a new Ghost fact. Many modems still do this, but silently. Ghost fact is that sometimes someone can use your Wi-Fi to do a 3D scan of your room? I mean, yeah, you could probably do like an echolocation. I feel like if somebody could do something like that, they would probably have an easier time just breaking in. New tech should sound like old tech, SSDs should sound like HDDs. Yeah, the thing is, if you're hearing your HDD, it's probably about to break. That's the issue. That and Roombas that connect to the internet can map out the rooms, yeah. I think my mom has been wanting to get a Roomba. I don't know if we will, though. I don't think it's a good idea. I assume it would get stuck on a bunch of shit. Oh god, these have sub-menus. Okay. Safe rooms. Enigma rooms. Although there were many dangerous rooms in the Maze Masters, the inventors could take a break in some of them. You know what it is? Some of these photos might be from later seasons. I think I've only seen like the early stuff of Nightmare. Like if they had CG in them, I didn't see it. Right, tech-savvy people don't want small tech in their house? Yeah. Casino got hacked because their fish tank wasn't properly firewalled? That's pretty funny. I've thought about looking into like small lights. Like replacing the light in my room with something that I could do like LED shit with, but eh. Especially not if it has to connect to Wi-Fi. Everything is safe if you use a good password, unless that password gets fucking leaked. It's safe until whatever the password is connected to gets hacked. The first ones were called Enigma rooms, and they were of all sorts. Math riddles, brain teasers, rebus puzzles, or anagrams. In those rooms, the 3 assistant players could be particularly useful. Shog. Unless Google didn't use a good password to protect your password, exactly. That's kind of why, anytime Google's like, hey, do you want us to put this in your keychain? I'm like, nah, I'm good. People are gonna do cool scanning stuff with that Nintendo alone. Like, I still can't believe that's real. And that people are buying it. That could be an app. Voltron would only give clues if the team manifested signs of weakness. Counter rooms were rooms where the bearer of the helmet would meet a character or a peaceful creature. That is Palpatine. I think that is literally fucking Palpatine. Also, yeah, Pokemon Sleep is already the app, huh? One device that watches you sleep and makes sure you think of products first thing in the morning, honestly. And don't you have to, like, buy DLC to get different, like, animations and shit? Nintendo fucking sucks, I don't know. It kind of pisses me off that people went from being like, hey, wait a minute, Nintendo is kind of a shitty company. And then they put out a shitty alarm clock. And people just immediately started talking about that instead. It's insane. Sorry. Rise and Shine and Peel, the newest Mario game? People immediately did make jokes about, like, alarm clocks spying on you to see if you're emulating games. I thought buying an alarm clock on the DSi for $5 was silly. What a time to be alive. I feel so old when I complain about stuff like that, but I mean, On very few occasions, an Enigma room could serve as an encounter room. Well. I was about to say something. I forgot what it was. I think I downloaded Pokemon Sleep at one point and it ran like shit, so I uninstalled it. Also, my phone battery already kinda sucks. I don't want a draining battery while I sleep. Also, yeah, overheating being an issue is scary. Empty rooms were statistically very rare, but they could still be found from time to time. They could be mistaken for the rooms inhabited by wall monsters. Though they could offer a short break, they were neglected by the adventurers who never stayed there for long. Some said that they felt uncomfortable in these rooms, while others would explicitly speak of the fear that they inspired them. That they inspired within them, I assume they mean. The most common emotion mentioned by the contestants is that of a feeling of unbearable melancholia. I think that should just be melancholy. Yo, that would be I think that's a level in Jedi Knight Academy. That's a multiplayer Jedi Knight Academy, level map. Despite their very young age, the contestants said that they experienced the emotions of an old person on the verge of death. Some of them would feel regrets and remorse related to notions they could not explain. The production eventually stopped using these empty rooms due to the players' negative feedback. However, some of those rooms never ceased to appear in spite of this decision, triggering a wave of panic and confusion among the production crews. Healing rooms were rather rare, but appreciated when they appeared. That's a good image. That's a fucking painting. God, that probably was so uncomfortable to be the one in the mask, because that's not even a prop in the room. That's just a painting. They gave the adventurers a few precious health potions. Without them, some teams would have probably failed. In addition to the rooms, some items from the choice trial also provide some health points. Okay, I assume we'll learn about the choice trial in a bit. During the last scene of the adventure, the players can also receive some bonus points according to the number of health potions remaining at the end of the journey. It was only the safe rooms. Lethal rooms. Bomb rooms. Some rooms contained huge bombs, set up by Lord Phil's henchmen. A player stepped into one of these rooms. The friends had only 30 seconds to guide the player towards the closest exit. This is very funny, though, just slapping a PNG on the corner. Or probably a GIF, more like. They could not do it within the allotted time, the bomb exploded, and the game was lost. Ooh. Meat. Okay. It is funny that what I've seen of these shows, they were extremely unfair. You could just lose at any moment. Trap rooms. But from the bomb rooms, the players could also walk into what was called a trap room. There were different types of them, but just like the bomb rooms, the player had to follow their friends' indications in order to escape the threats. Circular saws, blades tied to pendulums, huge gaps in the ground. There was a great number of threats. What is that? Oh, that's a saw, okay. I thought there was just like a weird light or like a puddle of water, but no, that's a saw coming out of the wall. They failed, and the players would lose points. If the number of health points reached 0, the game was over. Against all odds, no incident was reported in these rooms during the show. The night rooms rarely appeared, but they made an impact when they did. The Bearer of the Helmet had to find a way to cunningly escape the wrath of the enemies. Oh, that's a good look. That's some good crusty CG. This looks like fucking... What is the anime that Caro likes? With about the big muscle men? This looks like one of those guys. I know it was called Meat in the US, or Muscle in the US. I forget what the actual name is. Serial experiment. Yeah, exactly. Galahad appeared in one of those rooms. Okay, interesting. So far, the production crews have asserted that they still ignore how the statue displayed in the headquarters hall had appeared. What kind of mechanism brought it to life? Kinnikuman, yeah. I like that this one just has a few, like, non-sequiturs, and it's really confusing what they're trying to say. I thought we did get, like, a version of the anime. I think they just heavily edited it, and it probably only lasted, like, half a season. But I thought there was, like, a very short-lived 4Kids version. We got Ultimate Muscle. That's different? Is that not the same thing? Even if the contestants' injuries were harmless, this event is one of the reasons behind the show's cancellation. It was a sequel. It was a fucking Zoids situation. We only got the sequel series to Zoids in the US. Baki is, like, disgusting. I don't think... Everything I've seen of Baki, I'm like, I don't want to look at this. The random rooms are the least documented rooms, since none of them were aired on TV. They looked more or less like normal rooms. The only feature that would set them apart was the apparition of specific enemies. Baki kicks ass, he's 69 to survive. I could watch like a Hajime no Ippo, but Baki is too much. The only random room which could be recorded off-air was the one containing the pit brain, as it was called by those who mentioned it. Nonetheless, they were unable to describe their interactions with this entity. Can you believe it's a multi-generational anime slash Baki? Baki has the vibe of being like a 70s manga, honestly, so that's honestly not that surprising. And Hajime no Ippo I thought was like 60s or something. I thought it was like really old. That is what it's called, right? Ippo? He followed his grandfather and followed in him. Were they all named Baki? Color rooms. Gameplay of the green rooms was particularly distinctive. When a contestant stepped into one of them, they had to roll a dice. The dice itself would then appear in the room. I don't know if they're getting smashed by it, but I choose to believe that they are. Once the dice rolled, it turned into a kind of portal emerging in the room. Actually a gate, which would take the player to another part of the castle. The exact location was decided by the dice result. Mechanism appeared in several episodes. During one episode in Season 3, Portal apparently opened a gateway to a dark and terrifying dimension. The place was systematically called the Dark Place by all the contestants who came back from it. This incident happened twice, during Season 6 and 8. Feelings described by the contestants expressed a sudden and frightening existential angst. Follow them until the last scene of the adventure. The contestant who went to the furthest point in the heart of this dimension found what would seem to be a watchtower. He mentioned a dreadful presence overlooking from the tower, but he remained unable to define it. Okay, well, at this point we're getting into, like, this is all real. At first it was like, maybe they're, like, fucking hallucinating. But I don't think they're even pretending that this is a fake dimension at this point. Might have got my information wrong, to be honest. I thought the image of the amputation was real. I thought it was real too, honestly. That looked like something an anime like that would do. The red rooms were located in a zone called the Stomach, a kind of organic mental hell designed to try the contestants' nerves. The red rooms were located in a zone called the Stomach. Yeah. Issues with the meat. The issues with the meat started right after the first apparition. And in all likelihood, those two elements were connected. Who else got issues with the meat? A few airings of this setting, the production definitely removed it, since they had received many complaints from the families who deemed it too gory for such a young audience. I can't even tell what that is. That looks like cashews. Or like, linguine. I'm hungry. I need to get some food soon. It was only the leg, and the edit was using that leg stump as the whole body. I assumed it was just like a fucking Eraserhead situation. Piss room. Well, that's a hallway. That's an office building. It would be really fucked up if this was my hallway. Up to now, the blue rooms have remained mysterious. Aided by Jay, as some sort of mental trial, which could only be crossed with a substantial mental health. Blue rooms would trigger particular visions related to a dizzying dimension reminiscent of brutalism. Nice. I was gonna say I'm number 1 brutalist fan. That's not true. I'm like number 20. I'm a brutalist fan, but I know there are people who like it way more than I do. Every contestant, even remotely fragile, could only stay there for a very few moments. They all mentioned a heavy feeling of sadness. corridor leading to this dimension is in itself a challenge to cross. That's a zombie. Notably, there were cruel imps and a horrible giant with a distorted face. Having it be like a weird sci-fi brutalism thing, and then those imps inside is kind of funny. little goblins. Not all brutalism is good. I feel like there's a misunderstanding with some people that brutalism is just like big concrete boxes. And then they see like actual brutalism and it's like, oh, this is good. Not always, of course, but contestants managed to avoid them. I can step into the zone. Several images have been recorded, but the content makes every attempt to analyze them useless. Jay's pages on this battle seem to have disappeared from his research notebooks. Oh yeah, I think I would like to live in like a brutalist building, but I don't think most people would want to. I think they'll better like public buildings. Several images have been recorded. Yeah. That changed. Oops, I didn't hit. I meant to hit. Didn't mean to hit menu. I need to hurry up and play Max Payne 2 and Alan Wake so I can play Control. Like a big concrete room would suck during winter and be real cold. That's true. I don't know how insulation would work in a brutalist building. Or like central heating and air. I'm sure there's ways to do it. That's when you just put like big fucking. That's when you put the big fans. You gotta have the big spinning Silent Hill fans, and then those connect like a big scary boiler in the basement. Y'all probably didn't see that. I took the window and shook it around to see if anything would happen. And that just minimized all my windows. Hello, Pokey, welcome. Meat rooms. My favorite. This section addresses one of the strangest mysteries surrounding the show. Right after the first jester left, a certain number of events happened, all meat-related. I'm gonna get a big drink of water. Hello, Bogey. I hope you're doing well. We're currently reading about meat. From the panic concerning the catering, several rooms in the castle were found packed with pieces of rotten meat, taking the place of props that were supposed to be there. Even if the crew in charge of the scenery denied everything, the events blew out of proportion in increasingly troubling ways. Production even had to install security cameras on the set in order to try to identify the culprits, and it remained useless. It seemed that the meat appealed on its own. Apparently, the radical decision from Season 6, introducing three-dimensional scenarios, put an end to those manifestations. Huh. doesn't mean anything, but that is a curious phenomenon. Does that would mean either that one of the 2D artists were doing it, or something else? So I'm gonna turn the game audio down a little bit. I feel like it's really loud. That was almost peaking, and it's just music. Different documents found after Jay went missing prove that he was particularly interested in the aura phenomenon and the Cullian effect. What is this hippie shit? A step-by-step description of how to color in your own something. I can't tell what that last word is. This was all the alternative ways that would allow him to corroborate his theories. Oh, I'm a little too big. Jay was convinced that auras could confirm the efficiency of his protocols. In one of the rooms of the castle, there were special cameras which could capture and show auras on screen. I assume that's what the Cullian effect is. Let me actually Google that. Of like when people think an overexposed photo is an aura. Cullian photography is a collection of photographic techniques used to capture the phenomenon of electrical coronal discharges. It was named after Soviet scientist Semyon Cullian, who in 1929 accidentally discovered that if an object on a photographic plate is connected to a high-voltage source, an image is produced. Electrography. Cullian photography has been subject of scientific research, parapsychology research, and alt. Paranormal claims have been made. These claims are rejected by scientific community. What are the claims, though? Oh, go to the Wikipedia header claims. Cullian believed that images created by Cullian photography might depict a conjectural energy field, or aura, thought by some to surround living things. Him and his wife were convinced that the images showed a life force or energy field reflected the physical and emotional states of the living subjects. They thought that these images could be used to diagnose illnesses. In 1961, they published the first article on the subject in the Russian Journal of Scientific and Applied Photography. Cullian's claims were embraced by the energy treatments practitioners. So it seems like you just fucking zap somebody with electricity and then take a picture. And then say, yep, you've got a good soul. That'll be $500. Quite unexpectedly, only the aura of the room itself appeared. No human presence was recorded by the captor. I assume they're using captor to mean camera. In some of these. Or like sensor. However, the room seemed to glow with different colors according to the number of health points of the contestants. Since the results were not satisfying enough, the process was quickly dismissed. Well rooms would appear at random. The well had actually been built especially for the needs of the show. The original prop, painted by an artist, disappeared from the studio. That's a weird way to say that. I assume they're trying to say, if someone did make a well prop, nobody knew about it. Like, if one existed, nobody saw it. I think that's what they mean rather than there was one that did go missing. Or not. After this theft, wells started to emerge from the ground in random scenes. Okay, so it's the opposite. So if shouldn't be, though. Just like the meat apparitions, this issue is stopped by the shift to a digital scenery. The striking well was the one leading to the purple dimension. See keys. Is that just a shot from the ring? Isn't that literally just the well from the ring? Hold on. You know the best way to test this? Hopefully this doesn't crash OBS. Pretty short. pretty close. Yeah, honestly, if this wasn't the well room, I probably wouldn't have even noticed. It's fine. You can have a funny reference in your game. It's fine. There's all the secret rooms, right? Entities. Wall monsters, creatures, and anomalies. Wait. I feel like this is also taken from a movie. The specific, like, parchment. This looks like it's from fucking, Fiery of Scion. What's it called? What the fuck is that movie called? The Jesus had a family movie. You'll know the one. I'm too sleepy to remember the name at this point. Wall monsters were a special feature of the show. We find very few similar examples in other bestiaries of legendary creatures. Oh god. It is difficult to say if they were allies or enemies, since their behavior was always unpredictable. These are some good fucking faces, honestly. Da Vinci Code, thank you. I know people have talked about this in the past, but isn't it so fucked up that they'll for like a few years? People are really trying to push the Da Vinci Code is real. Like, really trying to push it. They randomly appear in empty rooms, and nothing in particular seemed to announce their arrival. The wall monsters made sure to terrify the assistant players. They were only a voice for the bearer of the helmet. Yeah, because they couldn't see him, right? Everyone knows Da Vinci Code is fake because Assassin's Creed is real instead. True. Have they done any Jesus stuff in that yet? It wasn't real. No, it's real. Don't worry, don't worry. You'll get your presents, it's okay. Great face. You do fight the Pope in one of them, but I don't know if they do explicitly Jesus stuff. It's usually like, I think like Roman stuff, or like Greek gods, usually. That was the Apple of Eden, that's true. It was the Apple of Eden, but then don't they reveal it's like fucking... It's fucking... what's her name? Isn't it like Minerva or something that gives them the apple? Something. It's aliens and also an artifact in all the religion. Yeah, gods or aliens, I remember being a thing. Slight spoilers for Assassin's Creed, I suppose, even though I think they completely dropped this plotline by, like, Game 2. I just want to know, was Jesus an assassin or a Templar? Even though he would be before that, you know what I mean. Does this to you? I think it ended after 4 with 4 being more of a distant epilogue. I feel like I gotta play those games at some point, because I liked 1 and 2. For the first 15% of Assassin's Creed? Exactly. Assassin's Creed spoiler, maybe. Didn't the plot of Ass Creed turn out to be the magic ball was ancient aliens trying to blow up the world, and Desmond was like, okay, I'll blow up Earth then? I don't think so. I thought the Apple of Eden was... I thought it was like... I don't know, actually. I don't think it was a bomb. I think it was more of just like... It gives you the information of aliens existing. Somehow, they represent the spirit of the castle. They knew its history, and they had watched the adventures of all the players. When we try to decipher the particular way to communicate, we find in the words a sort of ancient wisdom. The size and colors revealed how dangerous they could become. However, production crews asserted they were not to blame for the apparition of a face in the altar room during the Season 4 finale. Ooh. I'm thinking about Assassin's Creed now. In some ways it sucks that Assassin's Creed became what it did, because the Apple of Eden in 1 was like metaphorical. It's so... Like, I got it on like my 5th playthrough of Assassin's Creed 1 that the Apple of Eden was supposed to be money. And then Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and they're like, actually it's a big fucking magic... the big magic ball that has aliens inside it. Also, it wasn't... I'm getting overwhelmed with the fucking annoyance. Assassin's Creed wasn't supposed to be about the Apple of Eden. The whole point of AC1 was that the apple was only one artifact. And that they were trying to collect like a whole shit ton of random ancient things. And then they didn't do anything with that, and it pisses me off. Oh. Stream only AC Brotherhood multi... That honestly looked really good. I was sad I never got to try that. Which now we have Among Us, but it was a cool idea at the time. I think it's funny because I think if you pre-ordered from GameStop, you got like an exclusive like Harlequin skin. And I can't help but wonder if having that skin would make it way more obvious that you were like a player, not an NPC. I also want to be able to play fucking Mercs vs. Mercenaries at some point, or something like that. Asymmetrical multiplayer can be fun when you're not just trying to do Dead by Daylight. Single-player games of that era came with a multiplayer mode that lasted like a week, yeah. Yeah, the Splinter Cell game mode. I got to play it once, and people were mean to me, and I didn't know how to play it. So that was my only experience. Someone made a similar game, but I heard bad things. I remember the Tabascus tugs on collar. Me when I think about Tabascus. I don't think I can exit out of this. Oh, look at this little fella. Look at this little fella. Get back making a nugget and a biscuit. Oh, that does sound good, actually. I could go for like a breakfast sausage and a biscuit with jelly. I'm sorry. I need to stop thinking about food. Ooh. Oh, that's like a long elk. Nope. Them's with anomalies. There's like a pizza in the freezer, but it's so late. I don't think I have time to really cook it. I think we still have Sloppy Joe meat. Maybe I'll get that after stream. I think we still have some manwich. Oh god. Well, various food. The contestants choosing food during the choice trial express their need for energy and motivation. They all seem to develop different physical or cognitive capacities according to the products they would choose. The only incident happened in episode 7, season 3, when a roasted chicken was offered to the contestants during the choice trial. They all started to weep with joy, hit by a fit of neurotic euphoria in front of the chicken. The sequence had to be interrupted. The first and last time that cooked food was offered during the show. Rotisserie chicken would also be good. Contestants favoring fruits and vegetables during the choice trial manifested a need for vitality and energy or an overwhelming thirst for life. Apparently, vegetables were a more psychological sort of food, whereas the fruits seemingly affected the player on a physiological plan. Okay. I don't know what that means. Each contestant who would choose the gold ball seemed to be searching for eternity and inner wealth. Longing for accomplishment was almost pathological, often appealed through hasty and inconsiderate decisions throughout the overconfident reactions. And yet, the contestants who would choose gold usually led their team to victory. Oh. This says a lot about society. You know what I've never had, but I want to have? I want to have... You know what they fucked up? Wendy's should have done a Krabby Patty with jelly. Did they not do that? People sleep on on meat and jelly, but it's good. The contestant who would choose the key expressed a longing for freedom and knowledge. They need to unlock a zone in their own mind, to express their determination to resolve a complex inner conflict. Krabby Patty's so fucking mid. I've heard it's just a hamburger. Which I like a hamburger, but just made with a bit of spices on it, Dave Single. Sounds about right. Apparently, a specific protocol was implemented to the bells of the helmet who would choose the key. Many among them could access the Land of Dream. The process generally followed these steps. Well, those steps. When a contestant chose the key, triggered the apparition of a special well. Yeah, well seems to be a fairly important thing, because it keeps coming up. If the contestant decided to step into it, they could access this purple dimension. The likelihood one of these extra-dimensional translocations gave the greatest number of results. The dimension was finally detected thanks to the technology integrated into the helmet in number 4. I assume they mean season. Images show a dominant feature of pink-purple color. We ignore if this dimension really adopted those colors. It was an effect produced by the recording process. Yo, Onion Knight! Okay. Scary skull face. Castle. Apparently you can get fucking bodied. Trail of Blood. Star Trek Season 1. Big Meatballs. Onion Knight. For the descent into the well, the contestant would reach a forest. Several explorers of the purple dimension mentioned the apparitions of doors which seemed to lead into the darkness. Once they stepped through one of those doors, the contestant would be brought back to the initial forest. Huge breathing meatballs within appeal. Okay, they are just meatballs. Network 7 Studios apparently caught fire right when Jay tried to make a more thorough map of that zone. The only human figure who could be found, though, was a sort of mute ferryman, who never reacted to the contestants' solicitations. That's a bit obvious. So it's like a limbo. Okay. One of the more obvious examples. Pineapple under the sea Frosty is just a vanilla Frosty with some syrup mixed in. Well, that's every Frosty, isn't it? I think a lot of people are afraid of pineapple. I know some people really don't like pineapple. I know a lot of people are allergic to pineapple. But I feel like a lot of the time, when you get something that is pineapple flavored, they really, they don't put enough. Most flavored milkshakes is vanilla with syrup? Yeah, exactly. I think if you're doing something pineapple, it should be enough to be kind of acidic. Be kind of poisonous. Be kind of spicy. I don't know why, but I never realized a banana split is normally made with pineapple until last year. Whole thing? I usually think of like banana and cherry, but I guess you could put pineapple in though, yeah. Someone could mention they could have at least done a sesame seed bun. I don't think the Krabby Patty is sesame seed, is it? I thought the Krabby Patty was like a just normal ass bun. Okay, the live action one is sesame seed. Oh, yeah, okay, those, yeah. I think I usually don't notice it. I always assumed it was just like to make the bread look spongy. But they're all like little white dots on the bun. Is there any fast food that does sesame seed buns nowadays? Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like almost all fast food is, non-sesame. The kids, who would choose the pie, expressed a need to share, or on the contrary, a yearning for acknowledgement. Big Mac? Oh, well, I don't eat McDonald's, so... Easier to not deal with allergens? Yeah. Kids who would choose pie? Yeah. Pies were presented a few times to the contestants, and those who would choose them seemed to be more likely to find themselves in the yellow rooms. The pies in the show were prepared in a nearby bakery, which is never accepted to reveal the recipe. I think there's pie in the fridge. Sorry, I need to stop. I haven't had Burger King in a long time either. I'm a chicken sandwich fiend, honestly. So vicious stones were offered to the contestants. Those who would take them during the choice trial expressed through this decision a need for anchoring or for personal stability. Several colors of stones were submitted during the trial, and apparently the red ones were the stones that would trigger the greatest number of negative reactions. I don't know if we have any chicken. What if I did something fucking insane and went to see if... I don't know if any of my fast food places around here will stay open all night. What if they do? Locations. Hold on, I'm gonna mute my mic before I type in my location in this website. It's open. It's 2 a.m. It's probably gonna be like 3 or 4 a.m. by the time I'm done streaming, but it's probably not a good idea. And we don't have DoorDash, so I can't just get somebody to bring me some. Damn, that's really tempting though. We'll see. We have food at home. I have food. I don't need it. I don't need it. I just want it. Just want it real bad. Maybe I can go tomorrow. Well, what am I doing tomorrow? Maybe I can go get something. I need an excuse to drive my car. maybe I can go get some food. The programs out there that can decipher key presses by sound, but usually only government agencies have access to them. Government agencies and people who really give a shit. I doubt anybody watching my streams would do that, but still good to be safe. Each contestant who would choose the glove sought a feeling of protection and safety, also expressed a need for limits. Using the glove that could be useful to solve struggles the team could meet, but could reveal a much more personal need from the bearer of the helmet. The fabric of the gloves were made of affected the statistical frequencies of that choice. Okay. The contestants seemed to prefer the real leather gloves. They never chose the gloves made of synthetic fibers. Oh, that's a Skyrim skull. That's actually just a Skyrim skull. I thought a minute ago, hold on, that's a Skyrim skull. Is this not a Skyrim pie? What does it mean? It's all connected. Chat, load up Skyrim and find clues. Flask. A great number of distinctive flasks were presented to the contestants. They were labeled with tags supposed to give information about their contents. Not a Skyrim pie? Close. The similar type of pie. Juniper berry. It was proved later that those flasks were filled with sand, oil, or bicarbonate of soda. Each contestant who would choose the flask expressed a yearning for fierce motivation or for luck. What is that? Is that like an egg in a shield? I don't know what that is. Contestants seemed more unlikely to take interest in the flasks with the more grotesque names on the tag. That says Beautify? Bound Town Potion Homer Weasel. Honey. The corks were sealed after Season 2, and the contestant drank a whole flask of oil before the crew could react. What did they think they were going to do with them? Weapon. Every weapon submitted to the contestant's choice was fake. I can't stop drinking oil. You know the stuff in the barrels? I love oil. The players who would choose a weapon were sometimes motivated by desire for revenge, or by feeding it, or by a feeling of depreciation. When there was a weapon on the table, it was systematically chosen. Worried by the message it would deliver, the production eventually decided to considerably reduce their presence until they were finally completely dismissed, despite Jay's sharp disapproval. Bone. Symbol is nothing, I guess. That's fine. All the contestants who would select the bone during the choice trial seemed to be motivated by a need for rebirth, or sort of psychological reinvention. Miss Superman melting down a daggle to drink it because he's thirsty. I really hope he does shit like that in the new movie. I've said it a million times. We need a Jimmy Olsen movie. And Superman is doing all the fucking heinous shit he used to do to Jimmy on those old comic covers. Choosing the bone was about accepting your own ending in order to live again. Each contestant selecting this object would often display signs of excitement and great physical condition, along with a disconcerting ease to move around in spite of the helmet. Was that that appealed to be a Eraserhead baby. Like a mummified cat? Ooh. Look at that fucking thing. Among all the objects offered to the contestants, some of them did not belong to any particular category. A jug? Jug? In the shape of a buffalo horn. Spellbook. A figurine. It's kind of pogging. I have to look at it again. An hourglass. A dish towel. A bar soap. That's more of a cube than a bar. A block soap. A vase? Oh, it's got one of those fucking gross things in it. Looking up that image created a rabbit hole of Superman eating inedible objects. A bell. Neat. There was a time, I remember seeing something which was like, every Superman comic cover where he inflates. And there's like a surprising amount of fat Superman comics. So I wouldn't be surprised if eating inanimate objects might have also been something somebody really liked. Helmet. Oh. Okay, remote viewing. After Jane went missing, it appeared from the different documents which were found, he was particularly interested in experiments related to remote viewing. He was captivated by the CIA's research on the matter. He had consulted the entirety of the research conducted by Russell Targ and Harold Puthoff, Stanford University. Remember a comic of him being so happy Jimmy Olsen was promised his weight in treasure while Jimmy was made fat? Yeah, people always had a thing for big and round. No, not Neil Breen. Steve Brule. That's the name. Hey, they didn't censor his face. In his notes, Jay mentions a mysterious Oracle project, and we believe it could be related to Protocol 12. During the last 3 seasons of Maze Masters, the helmet was probably equipped with a device allowing a kind of remote viewing. No proof of results related to that research has ever been found. Oh, that's like a guy with like a cloth on his face. Like, this is a head, that's a shoulder, that's a shoulder. I want to see that again. House. It's too quick. Drunk Superman eating uranium. Like Hasselhoff eating a bogle. Like, instead of a bogle being, like, cut in half and all flopping around, it's just an elephant foot. I say an elephant, the elephant foot. There's only the one. What's there's a way to unlock these? Old Eye Pixels. Oh god. This text is not easy to read. The information given in this section is to a certain extent speculative. Discusses the doings of a certain J and the different groups he supervised. The Self Bureau, the Dream Clinic, at the time of the events, Old Eye Pixels. Jay's scandalous personality, his different aliases, not to mention the eccentric gossips about him, all build entire parts of his biography. According to certain elements from our investigation, the individual known as James Jeremy Jacob Jasper came from Wales, to be around blank years old today. This person was indeed identified by several witnesses. Spent time with him. There was no trace of Jay. There was aliases in the British Administrative Archives. 5 years after the events, a certain number of former members have accepted to speak out, enlightening us concerning a few elements of their experiences. You on the nose with the whole Superman eating real stuff? It could be a fetish, especially with the images I've pulled up that are official. Maybe. Like, only, you know, people like eating. I don't know if he ever eats another living thing, but it wouldn't shock me. Also, Brainiac's bottled cities, probably also kind of a fetish thing. The Self Bureau. We find no trace of Jay, who was known as Jacob at the time, before he arrived at Cambridge University to study psychology. He attended the course delivered by Devon Kay, who quickly became his mentor. The specialist of altered states of consciousness taught Jay the fundamentals of parapsychology. I think that says young dentist. That could say young scientist, but the spacing, I think that says dentist. I haven't thought about bottled cities in forever. Well, neat. I think about bottled cities every day. This is a difference between me and you. No, I think I have them in my relevant memory. Because I think they were a thing in, like, Injustice 2. We ignore the true extent of the collaboration, but it became more than an academic one. Yeah, they keep saying ignore instead of, we don't know the full extent, I think is what they mean to say. He would spend all of his time in his teacher's lab. He had to retake a year on account of his many absences. 2 years later, Devon Kay was diagnosed with a very rare disease and left the academic world. He was described by his classmates one of the best in the year group, also as the strangest one. For instance, he had no doubt about the scientific validity of extrasensorial perceptions and the models of their practical application. That's one of those aura photos. He was often described as an unfriendly man, and yet a little group of students would always spend time with him. After the bachelor's degree, he created together a student society called the Self Bureau. Due to the nature of the experiments, which the university has never wanted to reveal, the young members of the Bureau were sent down right before the PhD visa. Sent down? I assume they mean shut down. But no, I'm just saying, I don't think they should do this. If Superman wanted to, he could go eat a guy. He could go to his little bottled Krypton, and he could pick a guy up and he could put him in his mouth and he could swallow him. I don't think he should. But he could. No one could stop him. And he's so strong, he could probably, like, move his organs in such a way that they live. If they want to. The members of the Bureau moved to Birmingham, and there was no sign of them for a while. The Dream Clinic. We were finally able to track them down 3 years after the Cambridge incident. At the time, Jacob was called Jasper. Batman, have you seen my miniaturized father from the Flashpoint that I keep in a jar on my desk? No. Does he do that? I don't think I've actually read Flashpoint. I watched the movie, I think. We were finally able to track them down 3 years after the... Oh wait, that did happen, didn't they? Didn't they fucking bottle Gotham or something in that, and then... There was something weird, I don't remember. Flashpoint was strange. It's settled in the medical center in Birmingham suburb. Formerly, they called it the Dream Clinic. They used the building both as a living and a working place. Imagine Gotham has gotta be like, you know Gotham is way too expensive for what it is. Alfred died a few years ago and not come back yet in the comics. That's a shame. Modern Batman is so fucking alien to me, honestly. Last time I read a Batman comic, there were like 5 new guys and I didn't know who they were. Killed by Batman's AU father. Isn't he also Batman? In this clinic, they conducted several experiments related to REM sleep and to the psychic states of inconsistent consciousness. Treatments were free. The candidates to the experiment were paid. I thought that Batman was a good guy, but like I said, I'm kind of out of the loop with the comics. He was like a Batman that killed people, I guess, but... I thought he was generally still a decent Batman. In this clinic... Oh, I read that already. We cannot explain how the group had managed to find such an important source of funding at the time. 5 years, Jasper and his team carried on the research without anyone noticing. Apparently, something happened in 1981. Since, the group split up that year, and Jasper disappeared again. Thanks to the testimony given by Terrence B., we were able to trace the nature of the research conducted by Jasper, also the reasons behind the dissensions of the group. During the first 2 years, the team made a major breakthrough, decisive for the forthcoming events. What is that image? Oh, those are hands. Okay. I see. Gotta go to bed. Good luck solving the mystery of France. Thank you, Kara. Have a good night. They argued they had identified a dream dimension containing spatio-persistent places and zones which could be visited. They made video games real. The starting point of the discovery was a case of Norma T., a young woman suffering from night terrors since childhood. What if this was like a Hypnospace tie-in? Thanks to an ultrasound therapy treatment paired with hypnotic suggestions, Espel managed to help the patient. But Norma became subject to recurring oniric visions. Relating to dreams or dreaming, which lasted several weeks. Espel used the same treatment on other volunteers in the clinic, and the results exceeded their expectations. They experienced the same visions, became systematic, despite the complete isolation of the patients. At first, the images were peaceful. A little bridge leading to a calm sea. A majestic tree bathed in light. As they walked further into the dreamlands, the visions became more symbolical, even mystical. I kind of want this image. I kind of want to know what this comes from, the top right. Candidates mentioned visions showing huge eyes staring at them and a face of cyclopean size. All the candidates explained that after a little while they would see a sort of tunnel, an arch shaped by trees. At the end of this strange corridor, a door or gateway would appear. As they got closer to this gate, the candidates would show signs of tachycardia. Heart rate is faster than 100 beats per minute. Okay. High heartbeat. Some of them would also be subject to vomiting. I suppose this is the moment when the group started to split. Espel and two of his most faithful followers really wanted to see what was behind that door. Tunnel. Trees, gate, vomiting, right. The other members expressed a certain unease concerning the uncontrolled protocol, possible effects on the candidates who had not given their full consent. Like this is a book cover. Is this like a Stephen King cover? That's what it looks like. Despite those dissensions, one last experiment was conducted on 10 or so candidates, were given an anti-nausea medicine. All the subjects said that after stepping through the door, they experienced a stream of traumatizing or nightmarish images. That's a good image! It could have been a case of phobic hallucinations from traumatic memories or about death. That's also a really good image. I need to see if, like, the devs of this have, like, an upload of all the source images they used. Very pathologic, is it? Like Pathologic the game, or pathologic as in pathologies? The Dreamers mentioned a huge house lost in the middle of an empty and sinister... The pause screen. Oh, yeah, I can kind of see that, like the lighting on it. The harsh lighting. A huge house lost in the middle of an empty and sinister heath. Like the game cover. That's the one with, like, the knife, right? The knife in the back, or is that a different image? Yeah. I see what you mean. I was gonna try to play that this month, but I don't think I have time. I don't know if I should even install it at this point, but I do want to play Pathologic soon-ish. When they had stepped into the house, the candidates could see Styles and a checkered pattern floor. The house seemed empty, but they all mentioned a heavy feeling in the chest, a metallic taste in the mouth. The three candidates who climbed up the stairs, two of them mentioned the meeting with a young girl standing among wooden flotsams. No jetsams? When she spoke, no word came out of her mouth, only a strange sound of wood cracking and breaking. The last witness mentioned a meeting with a spectral entity, carrying a gladiator sword, saying that he woke up the moment he tried to get closer. Evidently, the candidates were very deeply troubled by this experience. The peaceful visions had given way to unclear and terrifying scenes. Some of them left the clinic in the middle of the night without ever taking their belongings. A dissident part of the group threatened to call the police. An argument broke out, and some of the members came to blows. Jasper ran away at dawn with his partner and two other adepts. They took with them a few files, the materials, and the remaining cash. So, I was gonna say some stuff about this one. I don't know how much of this game is actually based on true events. Probably not a lot, but this is obviously... As someone who had an occult phase, this is very, I would say, accurate to the written experiences of people who claim to astral project. I don't believe that astral projection is real, but a lot of the accounts of those kinds of things, people usually describe this kind of imagery and these kinds of experiences. It's kind of nice reading a thing where it seems like someone actually, looked up a bunch of this kind of stuff and is writing a pretty, quote unquote accurate representation of some of that stuff. I think a lot of astral projection is just semi-lucid dreaming, but, I still think it's interesting to read what people say they saw. The Prague Eels. We only know a few things about this period, but several compatible elements confirm that Jay and his acolytes went into hiding somewhere around Prague. Astral project all the time. Okay. We get it. You're more talented than me, than us. I tried to astral project when I was young, but it didn't really happen. I use Google. That's not the same. That's an out-of-body experience. That's different. An OBE is different. Astral projection. You gotta go astral. You gotta go ghost. Watch Mitchell Bethels, I know. I read books. I read Astral Dynamics. Astral Dynamics. The subtitles got it wrong. That's just disassociating with a fancy name. Honestly, it kind of is. I do think a lot of things that people call magical experiences are I think a lot of it could be DID, honestly. I think that explains a lot of my experiences as a child, but... it's there. I'm no doctor. I constantly view the third person over the shoulder. That would be confusing. I'd get dizzy. I'd be bumping into stuff a lot, I bet. They become extremely discreet. It would seem that they were invited by an acquaintance on site. No trace of rent or bills under their names. After the file at Network 7 Studios, we did find a few pictures in Jay's office. That was me my whole childhood, but it went away mostly. Like actually seeing yourself in third person, or astral projecting. I have heard people do dissociate in such a way that it's like they actually seem to be outside of their body in a way. I've not really experienced that, but really, when you actually see yourself in third person, your model is invisible to the camera. Oh yeah, I get what you mean, yeah. Yeah. The thing with stuff like that is I feel like, not to get too real, but I feel like with that kind of like dissociative experience, I never really know how much I'm feeling at any given time. So I don't know if I haven't felt that or I'm just used to feeling it. Because there are a lot of times where I do feel what's the word? Is it derealization or depersonification? A lot of times real life doesn't feel real to me, so I do get that a little bit. But I don't, it's rare for me to feel not necessarily in control of my own body. It's happened, for sure. It's happened in recent times when I've tried to investigate things about my mind. Talking about this without getting into details makes it sound even more confusing. But I have never felt that I have been, to my memory, I haven't felt in control of my body, but also outside of it. If I felt that I wasn't in control of my body, it felt like something else was. Or someone else, I should say. I've talked about it on websites, but mostly for me, whenever I do like straight up like full on dissociate, I usually just get really fucking dizzy. I've had dizzy spells most of my life. They apparently lived in reclusion, and a great number of parcels were delivered to the address of the living place. I've thought about, again, not to get too real, I've thought about just having a stream. I really shouldn't. Having a stream where I just sit down and like talk about like mental health stuff. Because I feel like those like stuff with my mental health that I feel like maybe I should make more public, but I also feel like I don't really need to. It's a whole thing. Y'all know what it's like. If y'all have also dissociated, y'all kinda get it, I think. I don't know how long you could go on for, yeah. Also, again, sometimes I don't know about other people, but for me, when you start to talk, or even just think about certain things too much, they don't necessarily get worse, but like, things happen. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Being above the pebble in your or the pulse in your head. Anyway. Inquiry established that they contain books. The number of volumes is likely to have represented Jay's important esoteric collection. Ooh. Years ago, an independent journalist discovered a book written by the couple during the Prague years, published in the United States. The person or people who really know it all exactly. Entitled Dreams, Transform Your Life Through the Power of Your Dreams. Uses different techniques related to dream control. Those are the names of a few chapters. Painting the Imaginary Tree. Making a mental self-portrait. The Third Eye. Identifying your personal archetypes, God. Building a House of Dreams. Hey, this is about some stuff. Some of this stuff is actually kind of relevant to the topic. Sketching dreams. Peeking into the unconscious. Learning to fly. On the dream highway. Posing a visual question. Building a dream temple. Letting your dream self free. Some people have no internal monologue. Yeah, that's hard for me to comprehend. Because sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. A lot of the time, throughout most of my life, I feel like, rather than having like an internal monologue, I tend to have internal dialogues, which is, again, kind of on the topic. It's easier to have a fake conversation with somebody than have a monologue a lot of the time. But I can't imagine not having any internal voice. I have vivid dreams. I somehow have a physical disconnect. Unable to manifest what I've seen or what I imagine on paper. Oh yeah, that's the thing too, is I'm kind of bad at like visualization. I'm not like a 0 on the Apple scale, but I can never really visualize something and then put that exact thing on paper. I've done that lots. I've always having fake conversations. Maybe do some research into plurality. I know what an apple looks like. I can perfectly imagine an apple in my mind. I cannot draw it. I feel like if I practiced more often, I could maybe visualize. I feel like I'm like a 2 on the visualization scale. Like, I know what an apple looks like, but it's more of like a symbol than like a physical object, you know? Like, I can't really, like, visualize the color red. But I kinda... Yeah. I can't visualize it, but I can understand it. If that makes sense. It's that... Whenever it comes to, like, perception, that's such a... There's no way of fully explaining perception to somebody else. It's kind of fucked up. I have conversations with Mosaic, but it's positive stuff, sort of like he's just my Jiminy Cricket. Maybe do some research into plurality. Thinking funny how it would be to have a mental health roundtable collapse stream. That might be fun, actually. That might be a good way to do it if we had, like, multiple people on to just shoot the shit. Yeah. I know Grief is pretty public about it. I think I follow a couple other people, but I don't know how public they are about it. I okay, I feel real talking about it because it's a okay. Very recently, I started confronting some of that stuff with me. It's not that I have recently started having experiences that might be that. It's that I very recently was like I should probably address this. And it's one of those things where, like I said, when you start investigating some stuff starts happening, and it can be a lot or it can be nothing. It was one of the things where I went from like I'm probably not to like oh fuck, oh god, you know what I mean. It's not a huge deal to me. It's more of just like at this point I'm kind of okay using the tone for myself, even if it's not DID specifically. I have had enough experiences that are close enough to that I feel like it's the best way to explain it. Rather than saying it's fucking magic and I'm going to a dream dimension, essentially. Like I said, reading this stuff and seeing some of the stuff is like, oh yeah, this magic bullshit. Which this is obviously fiction, but it's based on parapsychology and stuff like that. So much of it is like, yeah, that kind of just sounds like being plural. I don't know if I'm plural if it's just adjacent. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I don't know if it's exactly the way most people describe, but talking to people about it and being like, oh yeah, that sounds like me. I've been like, okay, even if it's not one-to-one, you're never gonna be one-to-one with somebody else's experiences. I hope this isn't such a weird fucking topic, but this is a weird fucking game, so I think this is the best place to talk about it. Who knew the game would end up here? Exactly. It's also the fact that it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired. And I do find a lot of this stuff, interesting. I think it's fun to talk about. AM in the PM, yeah. I think it's a great convo, feel comfortable with it. I'm half comfortable with it. I'm comfortable talking about it with, chat. I was gonna say, though, I feel like, in my experiences, personally, for me, it's pretty easy. Oh yeah, I know I can stop talking about it if I need to. There's some things that I don't really probably want to talk about. For me personally, it's pretty easy to, my phone just buzzed. I don't know why. To, not worry about it too much. There are certain things that I feel like I have confirmed about myself. And at that point, even if it's not confirmed, I can just be kind of like, if I have an experience of something. I think it was somebody following me on Blue Sky. I feel like a lot of people need to learn this, actually. You don't really need to make a big deal out of too much stuff. If you have somebody that you talk to who isn't necessarily real, whether it's an imaginary friend or DID or something like that, who gives a shit? Just fucking, it's fine. There's no reason to make a huge life-changing thing about it. Unless you want to, obviously, but if it's healthy and safe, it's no problem. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where I am for a lot of that stuff, for the most part. L quotes around I, obviously. we, you know. I use we in some instances, but yeah, you know. Keeping it simple. That was kind of my thing. Once I started talking to people about it, taking more time, quote unquote, alone, to really start investigating some things about myself and my previous experiences, it was a bit easier to be like, okay, I kind of get it now. I have the information I need. Carry on as usual. I do have a Tumblr account where I do occasionally post about some of that stuff. It's a bit unhinged, admittedly. It's one of the few places I kind of let myself be unhinged. But it's, you can find it if you want to. You can find it on your own. Anyway, sorry about the tangent. Label's only good for understanding, exactly. Labels are for meant to be, like... Yeah. You put a label on something to understand what it is, and you don't conform that thing to fit the label. Anyway. Network 7. As soon as he came back to the United Kingdom, they put a lot of money in different kids' TV programs on cable channels. Here are a few noteworthy examples. The Cranky's Electronic Comic. Galloping Galaxies. Ghost Train. The Computer Program. Alphabet Zoo. The Trapdoor. Several Towels. Alias the Jester. Jester reference probably means something. It's TV production, right? That font rule. That looked like a fucking Magical Girl anime. Like, I can't imagine this airing on British TV. Movie productions. Ugh. Between 1990 and 1995, Jay funded, through his affiliated company called Third Eye Movies, 8 feature films, thanks to the benefits collected with Maze Masters. Most of them were immediately released on VHS, and they can no longer be found. Though all of them are horror movies, you can notice in the course of the years a shift towards an increasingly gory and deviant content. Rising choice for production studios specialized in kids' TV shows. And click on the tape to see some of the photograms from each movie. Thought must go for sleep. Have fun looking into this weird world. It's very interesting. Yeah, this isn't much of a game, but I've been having a lot of fun with this. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. I hope we didn't put too many weird ideas in your head before sleep. God, I wonder what these are from. Yo. Me and who? Evil Eye. Wait, I think I've seen this, actually. I feel like this was in a Best of the Worst episode. I recognize this eye, I think. I totally do! This was, oh fuck, what was it called? Let me see if I can find the video. like a pretty early one. Which this is not completely accurate, because I think this was like an early 2000s movie. Wait, I think it's just called The Killer Eye. Best of the Worst episode 3. I can't put the video on screen because I'm pretty sure there's boobs in it, but yeah, that's totally The Killer Eye. $19.99, 2.8 stars on IMDb, out of 10, I think. So yeah, these are probably just taken from actual movies. There's no boobs on this, right? Right. It's just a real-ass movie. There's a Wikipedia page for some reason. Directed by... Who is this? Oh, this is, yeah. This is, the guy who made Puppet Master, I think. David, I don't know how do you say his name, Couture. This actually looks kind of good. Dead Planet. I don't think I know this one. That's a very funny image, though. I think I do recognize this guy. I think he's been in a bunch of B movies. Oh, that's it. Wait, hold on. Those repeats of some of these images. Brain Feast. Oh, damn. That's a pretty good effect. I hope it's an effect. Oh, that looks good, too. That looks like a Final Fantasy cutscene. Meatballs. So I get the feeling that this is the inspiration section of the game. Ooh. Death Trap. Yeah? Some of y'all in chat would fold in this situation. Dark Hole. Wait, isn't this also like a legit actress? She looks familiar. I bet there's probably going to be a credit section that actually lists what these are from. The Meat Man. Meat Man the Ace. That's just a bunch of red. I can't even really tell what's happening. Is that... I don't think it is. This could be extra. No, these are the fake movie titles. This is the in-universe movie titles. So the in-universe is Evil Eye. The real movie is The Killer Eye. is Extro. I might be wrong, but... Controversies. Or not. I don't know how you know all these. I watched every episode of Best of the Worst is honestly the thing. Extro is also fairly well known. The little gifs of that movie going around in like creepypasta threads for a long time. Oh god. Theories. Oh no. Not Indigo Children. David. Oh, whoa. Super. What? Super CD-ROM system. Williams theory. Multiverse. Secret service. Pocket dimension. Hallucinations. Tulpa theory. Oh boy, okay. We're gonna get into tulpas. Oh boy, okay. I have some stuff to say about this too, kinda, but... Some theories argue that the contestants might have created, without knowing, some sort of illusory tulpas. It's so fucking funny that tulpas have entered, like, mainstream consciousness. I knew about tulpas and thought forms and stuff from being on 4chan as a kid, spending a lot of time on the paranormal section of 4chan. I never tried it. I never did anything like that. I kinda didn't need to. But... knowing that tulpas gained, like, mainstream... well, semi-mainstream, public awareness, probably mostly because of My Little Pony, is extremely funny to me. I think people saw the My Little Pony copy pasta, and I think that's why most people who know what tulpas are know what tulpas are. Tulpas, or entities or realities materializing themselves through one's willpower only. Again, it was something that was kind of floating around in, like, occult scenes already, but I feel like that's when people, like, non-occult people, started to know what it was. It's a super old technique, but... I read some books about it. 2 long pages from one of Jay's notebooks enthusiastically analyzes Alexandra David Neal's writings dating from her Tibetan period, telling about the tulpa she had created and destroyed while she was in Tibet. I might have read that, even. Or I read maybe something that referenced that. Maybe. Yeah, okay, they're not getting too deep into it, but essentially, with it, it's weird that they have knowledge about this. In practice, a tulpa is essentially you meditate, you sit down and meditate, and visualize a thing, essentially. And you do it fucking every day, all day, every day, until you stop needing to meditate to visualize it. It's essentially like, again, like brute forcing an imaginary friend. Which is interesting. It's probably not good for you. It's probably not healthy, but it is a thing that people have done. And again, I can't really say much, but... Cult theory. Do I need to explain the My Little Pony copy pasta? Do I need to give context for that? People know what that is, right? People watching this VOD 20 years from now know what that is, right? Yes, you do know, or yes, I do need to explain? I should explain either way. Long story short, there was a guy on, I think it was on 4chan too, who tried to make a tulpa of, I think it was Pinkie Pie? Was it Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy? I think it was Pinkie Pie. And he was making a post that was like, guys, I fucked up, it won't stop screaming. He's like, yeah, I already have, like, schizophrenia, I already have, like, I think it was schizophrenia, some, like, mental issue. And I tried to make a tulpa and its whole face is melting and she won't stop screaming. And people in the thread were like, okay, this happens, you just need to not pay attention to it. And eventually it'll go away. Because that's, you stop doing the focusing and it'll stop. And it was like, I can't, it won't stop screaming. I can't ignore it because it's so in my face. I don't know what happened to that guy. I don't know if there was a conclusion to that story, but I'm pretty sure that was what was going around that made a lot more people aware of it. I probably can't show the post on screen. It probably has things that you can't say on Twitch, but... That's not post. Oh god. You can tell this is old because the screenshot that comes up is so fucking huge. I hate Reddit. I just want to look at the image. Let me zoom in, you dick. I can't save it in the full resolution? It's not even your website. Reddit! Is it impossible to find a fucking copy of this post that isn't on Reddit? Okay. This is a green text story. Let's see if I can actually read it out loud without being TOS. Okay, yeah, this one's relatively safe. Y'all know how green text stories are formatted, so forgive me. Creating Pinkie Pie tulpa. Do it before going to bed every night. Ignore warnings about doing exactly that because it can take ideas from your dreams. 60 hours in, I've started hearing and seeing her. Her face is deformed as fuck and frightening, and I can't change it. She keeps yelling for no fucking reason, mostly when someone else is talking to me. Can't tell shit when she does so, my face win, and it's a fucking My Little Pony meme. There was like a long, drawn-out thread of the OP giving updates. It's probably also not true, to be clear. It's probably just something somebody was saying to be funny, but it is a classic green text story. You learn about tulpas from a different post, probably. I feel like there were a lot of, like, copycat posts after that. What theory is this? Cult? The theory according to which Jay behaved like a guru with the people around him is unfortunately quite solid. The theory according to which Jay behaved like a guru... yeah. From the Self Bureau to Third Eye Pictures, he never stopped pursuing parascientific goals, filled with New Age nuances. Most all of his adepts refuse to talk to us. Most of them seem to be fearing for their life. It can be noted that today, Jay is still somewhere outside, and it could explain the reluctance to speak out. Among all the research undertaken by Jay, none of them stray from this burning need to seek a door behind the frontiers of the mind. They said it! And to stretch the limits of perception. Hands clawing, walking up a staircase. Okay. Shadow people. Aside from the events from the TV show, Network 7's premises gained a certain reputation in the British paranormal small circles. Several members of the production crews mentioned strange apparitions on some of the photographs taken during the shootings. Though the official investigation ignored this aspect, several theories pointed out the possibilities that those apparitions could be connected to the different dimensions which had been explored. The most persistent ones argue that those manifestations could have been caused by a communicating vessels phenomenon. Whatever that means. If a contestant entered the dream dimension, one of the shadow people would appear in our reality. Oh. Aside from those strange pictures, which cannot be asserted as authentic, no other elements can support this theory. However, the fact that those entities appeared during occurrences of sleep paralysis remains disturbing, given similarities connecting them to Jay's research. It's just ghosts. It was ghosts all along. Okay, thank God there isn't actually a fucking indigo child aspect. Oh, these are actually still the photos, they'll just meet. So it seems like the meat aspect is like purely photographical, if that makes sense. I think the meat only exists in 2 dimensions. Because these are still the photos, but then the meat is growing over the photo. On, like, the inside. Very, Song of Saya, honestly. I think these are all just gonna be meat. Honestly, I should probably either write something or make something that utilizes all the fucking occult bullshit I learned as a teenager. I don't know what that would be, but this game is definitely getting me in that mindset again. Oh god, the books listed below were all found by the fileman in Jay's office. The reports of rare documents which survived the fire at the studio. The pseudoscientific content of most of these books questions the deontological soundness of those experiments. I wonder if these are real books. You can see the covers of these books along with the potential notes written in the pages, clicking on the books. Spirit Releasement Therapy. Regression Therapy, Present Life Recall, Past Life Therapy. Recovery of Soul-Mind Fragmentation. Treatment of the Demonic. Spirit Possession Syndrome. Sphinx in the Rainbow. Time is a River. Time, Space, Reason, Intuition, Frontal Brain Power, Stream of Thought, the Forecasting Brain. Our personal differences shape the stream, mind beyond brain, a question of a higher shaper. Puzzle of recognition. The end of the rainbow. Problems of information transmission. Again, I have had... so I feel like this is gonna make me sound bad. I have had many fucking PDFs saved to my PC that have covers that look like this. I probably still have a bunch of them. Participation is a key to psychic demonstration. Cold reading. Human auras. Which is funny because a lot of stuff I still, I never really believed. I never believed in auras. That seems stupid to me. But I leaned more on the Discordian, teachings or lack thereof. Ruby Ease. A light beyond the half-open door. Ultimate destination. Strangely terrestrial. Conception of surviving in another world. It's an isekai! It was an isekai all along! Visions of dying. I can't read French. Never knew you were so into the occult, but it fits. It's not that I'm into the occult, it's that I had a phase. It's funny because at this point I'm very, anti-mysticism. Anti-fantastical thinking. And I think part of that is because I had such a phase. I read enough stuff that I I feel that I can tell when someone is a true believer versus when someone is just trying to make money. A lot of people are just trying to make money. Forbidden knowledge. Things unseen. Faith and fantasy. To be or not to be human. Okay, I can get into that. Lysergic acid and the temporal experience. Near-death experiences. SP. When men and women lose a sense of mystery, life will prove to be a grey and dreary business. Only with difficulty to be endured. Sucks because there are people who are being genuine about it, but it's so muddled with scam. Yeah. Well, and also, I don't want to be, I might be a little mean about it. I mean, you need to be a little mean about it sometimes, but, I'm not inherently opposed to, finding wonder in the world, finding the quote-unquote magic of being alive. I want to believe that it's possible to have that kind of thinking without it being dangerous, but I feel like it tends to become dangerous. Even if you are, a genuine believer. I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but I don't want to... A slippery slope fallacy is not helpful. But if you go from, fortune reading to faith healing to anti-vax. Like, it's only a few jumps away from becoming harmful for a lot of people, I feel. That's kind of why when I was... Maybe I'm revealing too much about myself tonight. When I was reading a bunch of occult stuff, I leaned towards... This is gonna sound cringe. This is gonna sound extremely cringe. There is a belief system called Chaos Magic, with a K. And generally, that kind of belief system was more... None of this shit is real, but you can convince yourself it is. And there's a certain amount of power in that. And that I kind of still sort of agree with. But then, again, I feel like I saw too many people... I wasn't in, like, communities or anything, but I like watching people on YouTube and reading websites. I feel like I too often saw people, even with that mindset, just kind of believing anything. If that makes sense. Good image. ESPN Energy, Woman Brain, OBE. Or they're even saying OBE, they're using the actual acronym. For psychic power. Like I said, I still think aspects of chaos and Discordianism are interesting and kind of fun, but you gotta know when to pull the plug. You gotta know when to step back. My opinion, don't kill me, don't crucify me, pun intended. If the magic system that someone believes in is Christian, like has any aspect of Christianity in it, it's probably a scam. I'm just calling it how I see it. All sorts of experimental conditions, yeah. The higher power who guides us all from our inner and outer space, to all of us who are growing in awareness of our immortality and our multidimensional being. The quest for reality, the inner-outer space connection. New biology. Guess what? Among Us! There's your shadow people, negative shadows. The Hat Man, getting rid of shadows. This is all real. Chapter 1. See, that's kinda... Remote viewing, stranger than you can imagine. That's something you notice a lot of in these kinds of books too. If you don't believe it, it won't work. It's like the #1 tenet of a lot of... at least this era of occult teachings. Going to the 4th dimension. I am in here. Who's out there? Climbing up the golden stairs. Which again, that's kind of in most of the chaos teachings. Talking about it this way sounds insane. They say that and they're like, it'll only work if you believe in it. It's not real. Like having that distinction is like at least used to be a very important aspect of that. You gotta be able to say, it's not real, I'm gonna believe in it anyway. Which I think is kind of fascinating. But, again, you gotta be careful. You gotta know when to just be a normal person. The sacred and the psychic. Demonic possession, collective unconscious. Super ESP. Oh. Altered states, mind forces. You gotta touch grass sometimes. I don't know. What was that one, right? Yeah. Anomalous experiences. ESP. Will we ever know whether extrasensory perception exists? Anomalous experiences during deep hypnosis. And again, talking about... Sometimes you get older and you're like, oh, some of the stuff I felt was because I have mental illness. I feel like that also probably is what helped change a lot of my views. And again, sometimes... Again, maybe this might get too real again. Like with plurality, right? You gotta, you know it's not magic. Music stopped when I said that. But it's still something you experience. And it's still, you know, quote unquote real to you. So you don't have to deny that aspect of your own lived experience. You just have to understand that you're not you don't have superpowers, you know? You gotta be able to say, this is me, not everyone else. What was the line, really? Yeah. I mean, the line is... you. the line is what's inside your body versus outside your body. Which I think is like a good distinction to have for a lot of things, honestly. Like, you can have visions. You just gotta realize that those visions are inside your head. Found realized by the contestants after each show. The kids' drawings effect seemed to last more than or less 24 hours. Reproductions of the notes in French on the backs of drawings. I can't read French. Did he come into my home knocking my bowl of crystal and punching me in the face? That's... Most crystals you buy aren't crystals, they're just glass. They're not real. Montmonstre. I don't think what the fuck? I don't think I've seen that emote. That must be new. These little kids' drawings. I had it for a while now? I guess I just didn't see it. Huh. Well, that's a helmet, I can tell that much at least. That's kinda cute. Hieronymus drew this! Couple weeks? I was in your last stream and I guess I didn't see it, huh? Rituel? Jean-Yu? Okay, so okay, the Gestel. Gestel is J. That probably means something. Maybe people don't use all my emotes, maybe. Maybe I just didn't look at the correct time to see it. probably been late to most of your streams lately, so maybe I didn't catch you saying you added stuff. Oh. Oh. I'm not clicking anything, by the way. It's just showing me images. Yeah, the post-processing stuff in this game has been pretty fucking good. Well, I'm sure they'll fine. Okay, I'm seeing a hole in the ground. I think I'm seeing like a skeleton sitting somewhere. I'm seeing a like rock band stage, I think, with like the glass. Like an opera or some kind of consult with ghosts and meat. Eh. Actually, hold on. I'm trying to use the help button on most pages just to see if anything happens. Seeing footage. There's like machinery. Hallway, machinery, engine. Some kind of like totem. Bonus. Oh, I think this is like actually... It's actually like... Yeah, I think this is like actual behind the scenes. I think this is bonus of the actual game. David Rowe apparently did a bunch of the, Nightmail backgrounds. I assume this is from the actual Nightmail show. Yeah, because I remember the weird snake pit. It's good shit. It holds up. I thought this one was 3D when I saw it earlier, so... So I wonder, I guess they did have meat in the original show, I guess. Huh. Video games. Oh no, this might still be in Universe. It's hard to tell. Warning, there was a wall monster here, a gold without mercy. The Titanic sailed from... yeah. The wall monster here. Go to the symbol, which is the odd one out. You can go this time, but next time I will be less patient. Okay. 91. This looks kind of good, actually. This looks kind of fun. That's like RuneScape damage counters, though. I say this I've never had fun playing this kind of game. I didn't enjoy Legend of Grimrock when I tried it. Hold on. There is something though. Oh. Don't shut down my PC. Oh, that's a door. Okay. I thought that was a PC towel. I think we're getting Skinnamarink. I don't know if that eye was there last time. Okay. That's fine. Bold game. It looks like blue. I mean, I'm assuming there was like a Nightmare Bold game that this is probably based off of. Neat. I want to play more bold games. I guess I need to just tell my friends that I want to play bold games and set up a tabletop sim collab at some point. I don't know what we would play. I just want to play something. This is funny. Having a fan art page, but you can't actually see anything. Well, I think that might be everything. Unless those... Unless there's more to unlock, but nothing is standing out to me. I'll take a quick look at the itch page before I click the credits. What you can't find in the game so you don't spend hours looking for it. Hey, all the hidden content stuff behind in the extras area. All of the areas that cause the screen to glitch out are fully inaccessible. It's trying to hide anything inside the game files. They can't be found. Well, unless they've managed to hide stuff. None exist within the game files. Anyone's known to know what the symbol object is out of luck, sorry. Actually, every screen in this game is its own individual GIF. Solutions to hidden secrets below. Okay. Text and research, Alan Q. Smithy. You're really doing an Alan Smithy on this? I wonder why. original soundtrack. CD-ROM concept and design Vision 2000. I don't know what that is. I think all the film employees from Network 7 and Thought I Pixels. Okay, this is still this is still in Universe credits. Okay, got it. JD! Acknowledging me. Finally. Okay. Somebody left a combination. Isn't this a real dead body? Am I making that up? This feels like... I feel like this might be in a museum somewhere. Row 3... Row 3... Row 2, column. Oh, 3, column 4, row 5, column 1, no, row 5, column 2. I assume this is like building an image piece by piece, but I can't visualize it. Row 6, column 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did that do, though? What did that do? I don't know what that did. I'm looking at this comment. It says locations. Archives. Books. Oops. ESP book, row 2, column 3. Page 6. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vein book, top right. I don't know what it's trying to say. They'll just a thing that says locations. Maybe I fucked it up by going back to the main menu? Okay. I assume I have to find these things, and maybe that's a something? Blue eyeball in the Meat Man. Wait, what? All Day Pictures movie production, Dull Hole, page 6. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Then, more bonus. David Rowe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. We gotta find Freddy and Chica. Chica the kitchen. That's pretty funny. They put the living Omo just in a fucking prison cell. Ah, there's a brain. I think that's a brain. Jester. Well, if that's the Gesto, then he's not out and about. So that means it's probably safe to talk about him. Jay being Shotful Gesto seems self-evident at this point. Maybe. I guess maybe he could have called himself Jay in honor of the Gesto and not actually been him? I don't know. it's up for interpretation. Let me try this again. Let me go to archives. Yeah, I think I get it now. Go to column 3. Page 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then Brain book top right. Hole. Static. Okay. So that one comment was actually kind of wrong. This is showing stuff that we didn't have access to. These are the different theories that didn't actually go anywhere. I can't tell what that is. Some more just static. That one's still nothing. That one's still nothing. Meatball. Illuminati, I think? it's the eye doctor building. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I think this is the last one that's listed in the comment. Legends and precepts. Frog eels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is like a Flash game, in a good way. Oh fuck. This is the one we didn't get to look at. Oh, I click uphill. Okay, I was trying to control it like a real game. Well, fuck, where do we go, chat? Left? Chat, I'm in the helmet. You have to tell me where to go. Do I go left, right, or center? I'm closing my eyes as if I'm in the helmet. But then I can't read chat. Hello? Madam? You killed me. Kinda thick with it, though. Oh fuck, I'm already lost. Oh no. Having the real, quote-unquote, real game be playable as a secret? I'm surprised it wasn't just this to begin with. Right? Right. 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 Right, left, forward, slime. Okay. Right, left, left. 2. Ding? Oh. Oh shit. I got in. Chat, the full store I see in the woods, I'm gonna go right in. It'll be great. I feel like this is the ending. This feels final. Oh. Well. Oh. They put it back in. Okay. I was about to say, I guess we're all done. That was nice. I do want to see the other deaths, though. Though, I want to see what those other dolls lead to. It's clicking too fast. It was left or it was Sinto, right? No, shit. Right, left, left. 3. This is a smiley little guy. Right, left, left, last. That's Aoni. I think that was just Aoni. Okay, just a few extra deaths. That's fine. Realizing I can't get out now. Okay, well, I'll do a couple more scrolls to see if anyone else has any secrets. Oh, I think I see what I get the logic of that now. The puzzle we did in the credits sequence. The red dots were pointing at where we were supposed to click on those screens. I get it. I was reduced to basically re-clicking through the entire game with a symbol drawn on a piece of paper of clear plastic taped to my monitor. That's kinda neat. We have time for a couple more games? We could. I'm gonna be up for another, 3 hours, so... People dumping headcannons. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing any other secrets. Oh yeah, I think that's it for this. This was really good. It got me in a good fucking weird headspace, which I appreciate. I like when a game can do that to me. Honestly, if it wasn't so late, I thought I was thinking about doing a bonus stream tonight. I was thinking about moving over to a different website and just drawing. I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't.
Welcome, watchers, for this is adventure time. It's the time of adventure. Why should you care? Beyond that turtle lies the dungeon seat, which I alone have mastered. What? Who?
David.
And what reward do you seek here?
I seek David. David. David.
Where?
I'm David. I'm David. I'm David in Bedfordshire.
If it isn't clear, shout out to the things.
I was born. My father slipped on my face. What?
David, I think we have the answer to the riddle.
Right, what is it?
Could you try saying, please?
That will not be possible.
I did recognize the fucking wall face immediately from this video.
This is a wall.
Oh, yeah. All right. Turn round completely.
That will not be possible. There is no turning back.
David, I think we have the answer.
Right, what is it?
So is even the helmet? I guess I didn't realize the helmet looked like that too. I assumed that was more photoshopped than it was.
I don't know. Can you turn to your right and left diagonally? Forward until I say stop.
It would fucking suck to be the dude in the helmet.
I can't tell you anything else at the moment.
That was quite the thing to do. By the way, if you're worried about David, you'll see that David, although he
you think-
survived in the dungeon, he perished in reality. What a pity.
You think part of the point was like not ruining the illusion for the kids by not letting them see the blue screen?
And David, spellcasting. D-I-E. Never mind.
Yeah, this is what the show was like on TV back in the day.
Daddy. Nigel, Mum, and Mum.
Nigel Hard from Portsmouth.
Tom Cruise, also from Portsmouth. I'm from Portsmouth too. Yes.
A word of warning. You should abandon them.
It's him. This is what he did to all those people.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Oh, yes.
Fiddle. Diddle. Fiddle diddle.
It's actually a pretty good gesto design. I like the makeup.
Riddle diddle.
Fiddle, riddle, diddle, diddle.
Fiddle riddle diddle diddle.
Fiddle, riddle, diddle, diddle.
Fiddle riddle diddle diddle for 3 hours.
Who dares the dungeon next?
Simon.
Simon?
Yes.
Very well. Now that we have the next...
Simon, so for heaven's sake.
Simon.
You would have read the rules of ritual and the adventurer's code. But first, a brief reminder.
Brief reminder.
Shut up. There is no correct route through the dungeon.
Correct.
Someone will find the results amusing.
He really rolls all of his O's, huh?
Where am I? You're on a ledge. It's a ledge around the edge. Off the edge of the ledge is a large...
Challenge accepted!
I love the wheeled head cane. It's a good thought.
Spellcasting. R-E-E-F-E-R-Z.
Oh my, it looks like everyone's high.
Name yourself.
There's the snake pit.
Simon.
Oh, and there's the woman with that sad lady. Yeah. Okay, so she was super real.
Spellcasting. A-N-T-L-E-R.
Your opinions are not tolerated here.
Where am I?
It was really only the dude with like the red highlights that seemed
Tell what happened.
AI to me.
Spellcasting. F.
But I think it was just like the wheeled filters they were putting on him.
A. R. F.
Say what?
The well.
Thimble, a food, a sea, and a sloth. Is it? Yeah.
Sloth, is it?
Right, go forward.
On the challenge in the top right, they turned into the Studio 7
Your
logo.
adventure is over forever. What a shame, or not, as they say.
I don't know if I should watch this show, honestly. I wonder if it's worth actually sitting down and watching it for real. I'll post the link to this in chat. We should? Maybe, like I said, if I...
After they break the brain, the buzz.
Where am I? You're in a room. Okay, now where am I? You're in a room. Now where am I?
The bomb.
You're in a room. Where am I? You're in a room. Now where am I? You're in a room.
Where am I? Danny, you're in a room. Where am I now?
Danny, you're in a sort of a room. Where am I?
Sort of a room.
Where am I?
You're in a room.
Where am I?
You're in a green room.
Where
A
am
green
I?
Um,
It's a
you're in a
chasm.
room.
Oh, that guy too. We saw him. Oh god, fucking, I don't know what this is. I don't need your mobile game. I was gonna say, if I do, if I do an alt stream, this week, which I want to, we could probably watch some stuff. I was thinking I could maybe either put on, like, Silverhawks or something in the background to watch while I draw. Maybe. I can figure out a way to do it. Well, that was good. That was, what's the name of the game again? Frontiers of the Mind on itch. Study of the Maze Master's experiments. I kinda wish... I don't know, I almost wish we had a little more concrete information in the game. Like a more definitive, like, point A to point B. But as it is, this is as just like a CD-ROM experience. I enjoyed it a lot. It reminded me also quite a bit of, home security hotline, home safety hotline. But with less, you know, gameplay. Same vibes. Which I do have the DLC to that game, but I assume I need to wait till Christmas time to play that. Because I think it's a Christmas themed DLC, despite being coming out around Halloween time. If people have more fucking itch games they want me to play, remember you can send me something on social media, you can send me stuff on Discord. And maybe we can do another just a purely itch game stream again. It helps to have people who know some of them. It helps to have some amount of vetting. There's definitely stuff on itch that I can't stream, but y'all know how it is. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And sticking around so late. I kind of didn't expect the stream to be the way it ended up being post Eternal Darkness, but I had a good time. And I hope all y'all enjoyed your time as well. I want to thank Mozzie for all the bits. Why am I getting an ad on Twitch? On my own stream? Oh, nobody's online. Nobody's online this late. Mozzie, thank you Mozzie for all the bits. And... we not get... For some reason my brain was telling me we had a raid today. I don't know why. I don't think we did. Maybe it's just because all my friends came in. Do we have any recommendations in chat for people to raid? Fucking... I hate the Twitch UI so much. I'm trying to scroll through the games and demos category, and there's just 50% of the screen is a stream that I am not trying to watch. specific category for this game. Anyone playing this right now? No. At least not in its own category. Nobody under 500? I'm not opposed to rating someone big. You know what bugs me? It kinda bugs me when people play like a AAA game and all the games and demos tag. Maybe if I can try to use the thing. Hold on. There's a thing in the Creator dashboard that's supposed to recommend people to rate. I don't know where to find that. Oh, Negobun is live. Negobun has rated us a couple times. We can rate back. It seems like a nice thing to do. Return the favor. Again, thank you for coming. I hope you had a good time. Like I said, I'm gonna try to probably do bonus stream sometime this week. Do an alt stream on Pixel or Picalto, one of those. Keep an eye out on social media. Join the Discord if you want for updates. I might also maybe be on a stream with Kero this weekend, if we can get that going. Maybe. We'll see. If we can get enough people, hopefully. I think that's it. Hope you all have a good night. I hope you sleep well. I hope you don't have too fucked up dreams from some of the stuff we were talking about and looking at. Hopefully I'll see all y'all next time. Oh, and again, like I said, I have a Blue Sky now, so you can find that. You can find that if you look up my name and social media and stuff. I'll try to keep using it. I'm gonna go get some fucking food, honestly. It's almost 5 AM, but I need food.